This course is presented to you free of charge by TTJ Tech Services of www.ttjtech.biz and by Stir It Up of www.stiritup.com. And remember, stir is spelled with a U, not an I, so that's STURITUP.com. TTJ Tech Services and Stir It Up are pleased to offer this course to you, to the glory of God and to the benefit of all those who listen. Praise God, and welcome, my friends. Session number 16 today of iPad for All Computing. This is what we like to call App Bonanza. This is a blitz of a lot of apps very quickly today, and the next session next week on Monday will be rapid looks at several apps. Today we'll be looking at Apple Maps, music, TV, and podcasts. Now, as you can already imagine, when we do something like this, there's no possible way we can go over every feature, and that's not the idea. The idea is to show you the kinds of things that can be done with our iPads and how easy it is to do them. So I'd like to use this opportunity to also talk about several other types of app elements that maybe we haven't, well, maybe not several other, but, you know, some things we haven't discussed yet. So we're going to get started without any preamble beyond that, because we got a lot to cover. And let me get the screen share going. And there it is. And it's about to begin. Okay. Get rid of that notification there. Now, our original sound.
Sound button. Picture-in-picture displayed. More. But settings.
Okay.
Maps.
There's the Maps app.
Double tap to open.
Apple Maps is very powerful. It's beautifully integrated with SIRI and with several other apps like Yelp, OpenTable, and Uber, for example. So there's a lot we can do with this app. If we can see, we certainly can look around at features of cities and do satellite views, and we can basically look at anything we want on the map, and it's a great experience for those who can see it. But even without being able to see, there's a lot we can do, including getting business information and even turn-by-turn directions. Now, I will point out that iPads, as I've mentioned before, that are Wi-Fi only will not support turn-by-turn directions because they lack the necessary hardware. They lack the GPS chip to do it. You can get business information and so on, but you're not going to be able to do the voice-guided turn-by-turn as you would with an iPad that's Wi-Fi plus cellular. And I know most people probably would do this with their iPhones, you know, and even CarPlay and things of that nature. But it's nice to know we can do it on our iPads if we choose to. We have it there available to us. And I would also say these are driving, walking, cycling, and even things like rideshare or other transit services. So there's several different ways of accessing directions here. And in our area, it's going to be driving primarily. But let's open up Maps and give you an idea of what this thing looks like.
Maps. Map. Stream side dental. My location. Locations. Report an issue.
Now, I'm going to do a four-finger tap near the top, even though that's not typically where you're going to start in Maps, but I'll show you why.
Card controller. Full screen. Button. Double tap to collapse the sheet. Actions available.
Okay, what in the world does that mean? And if we use the rotor, we hear these actions.
Expand. Collapse. Activate. Default.
All right, so what is a card controller? Well, I'll explain that in a moment, but let's swipe to the right first.
Map modes. Button.
So we can adjust map modes to hybrid views and 3D and satellite, different options there.
Tracking on button.
If the tracking is
Change tracking options.
If the tracking is off, and your map is not in the correct location, you can immediately double tap to turn tracking on, and it'll bring focus to the correct location. Now, what do I mean by that? Well, it's possible to go anywhere on this map virtually, right? So you can take the map anywhere in the country, at least, probably anywhere in the world, I don't know. But, there was a time that one of my kids was playing with my phone and had the map in like Chicago or something, and that's fine. You want to see that, absolutely. But a quick way to jump back to your current location is to turn the tracking on, and it'll bring you right back. Let's go to the right again.
Clear, 48 degrees. Air quality, 24. Good. Button.
So it gives us our current weather conditions.
Search maps. Search field. Double tap to edit.
And
Swipe
then
up or down to select a custom action, then double tap to activate.
all right, so we're gonna use this in a moment, and if you go to the right some more, you're gonna have recent searches and recent locations.
Profile button.
The profile button, which allows you to edit your personal information and other, you can download maps, and you can leave reviews, and you can report issues and so on.
Locations. Series suggestions. Heading.
So we have these suggestions.
7 minutes to Mandy Joe's Country Corral, Tagan Spring Street, traffic is light. Swipe up or library, heading.
Now, that's the only suggestion for right now, and it bases those suggestions on behavior patterns and other things of that nature, and you'll notice that it is giving me a 7-minute driving time. That's pretty accurate. They base that on the current traffic conditions. You heard it say traffic is light. I would also point out the reason it suggests this is that usually Wednesday is the day that my pastor and I go out to lunch. This week he had another commitment, so we've rescheduled to Friday, but normally we have lunch on Wednesdays, and that place that you just heard is one of our favorite restaurants to go. So if we had to say there's one that we've been to more frequently than others, it would be that one. So Apple this device, is very smart to make that suggestion. And if we keep swiping to the right, we have the library, which
Work, add, library, heading, work, add, home, close by, button, mom and dad's house, 88 miles, button.
These are
Swipe up or down.
These are considered favorite locations, and home is in there. Work, I don't have a separate work address because I either work from home or go to clients in other places, but not an office per se. So it's a home office, so I don't have a work address filled out. Home says it's close by. Well, it is. We're there. And then my parents' home is about 88 miles away.
Add button.
You can add other locations.
Swipe up or 61 places bullet, 9 guides bullet, 0 routes button.
That's an important button.
Swipe up.
It said 61 places, 9 guides, all of those kinds of things. So what this is going to allow me to do, this is my library of all the different places that I've been. It has a history. It has guides, which are basically, you can have your own guides that you create, and you can have curated ones from Apple. What they do is they have a collection of places. In fact, they used to call them collections until they renamed them to guides. But it's a collection of places that is based upon either a theme or a location or what have you. So let me go ahead into this and you'll see what I mean.
61 places bullet 9. Card controller, full screen, button.
Now we still
double tap to collapse the sheet. Swipe up or down.
Have not explained to you what a card controller is. Rather than keep you in suspense, I'm going to go ahead and explain it now. The Maps app is interesting in that when you are viewing this information, like your search results, your business information, your guides, your recent locations, your Siri suggestions, all of these things, that's a lot of information, right? If I were to tap on a business place card, which I'll do in a few moments, you'll see, phone number, address, website, information about the business, hours, all these kinds of things, right? But if we are looking at the map and we can see, we still need to be able to see the map. We never want to lose that map as long as we're in the app, because we might be using it to navigate, for example, and to know where we are. So what they do is they do a system, a card overlay system, where the information that you are requesting, in this case our library, our list of guides and our recent places and all of that, is an overlay. It's overlaying the screen and the map is underneath it. So what you can do is you can adjust the size of the card that is overlaying the screen, in this case the library or the information card, and that rotor option to move it to half screen and so on. That's where you can do that. Now, for voiceover purposes, it is usually best to have it full screen. You can work with it if it's not, but it may get a little more confusing for you. So I always use it full screen, and I recommend that. The important thing to understand here, though, is that that's what it is. You will also sometimes hear in certain apps, you'll hear the term sheet grabber. What's a sheet grabber? Well, a sheet grabber is kind of the same thing. A sheet grabber is not quite as you can't really adjust the size of the sheet like you can adjust the size of a card overlay, but it's still basically the same thing. It's something that is maybe a popover, a pop-up menu that is overlaying the rest of the screen so you can still see what else is on the screen, and that's just a small portion of it. And so the sheet grabber allows you to dismiss the sheet and sometimes do other things, but basically that's what that means. So if you ever hear that term, and we will run into it, I'm sure, but that now gives you an idea of what that is. On the iPad and even on the phone, you can have a sheet grabber and you can have a card overlay. The Voice Memos app used to have a card overlay with the waveforms of your audio recording, and then the controls for the audio recording, but I don't know that I've seen that in a long time now in the Voice Memos app, but it's still used in the Maps app for obvious reasons. So let's we're in this card overlay that is the library. If we swipe to the right, well, first of all,
Card controller, full screen.
right
Button.
now go to the right.
Map modes, tracking, clear, library, heading.
Okay, there's the library, and notice
Close button.
there's a close button so we can immediately get back to our regular map. Now go to the right.
Pinned to button.
We have
Swipe up or down to
two pinned locations. These would be that always would stay at the top, I guess.
places. 61 button.
And notice any of these I want
Swipe up
to
or down.
open, I have to double tap on it. It's just the button. And what, if we keep going, I think we're going to get to the history here pretty soon after the guides.
Guides 9 button. Routes,
The routes,
0
and now
button. Recently added heading.
recently added.
Christ Victory Church, Man's Choice, More, button. The Whiskey River Pub, Bedford, favorite restaurants, button.
That's one of the new restaurants. They call it a pub, but it's actually a restaurant.
More, button.
And there's more beside it.
Bedford Tavern, more. Bad Boys Bistro, more. The Union Hotel, more. Oriental China King Buffet, more. Del Grasso's Park and Laguna Splash, Water Park, Tipton, more. Morrison's Cove Memorial Park, more. Don Patron Mexican Restaurant, Mexican Cuisine, Bedford.
Now, any of these that I want, I can double tap on it, but I also have this more button to the right of it. Let's see what that does.
More, button. Pin, button. Share, button. Add to a guide, button. Add a note, button. Delete from library, button. Dismiss context menu.
Okay, and then,
Card control.
if we want to actually find one of these places and get their details,
Map.
let's see.
Don Patron Mexican, more. Don.
We'll just use that one.
Don Patron Mexican Restaurant, Mexican Cuisine.
So
Middle.
what we've done now is double tapped on the name of the restaurant, not on the more button this time.
Clear, 48 degrees. Don Patron Mexican Restaurant, 14 minutes. Driving, button.
Okay, that's the button you're going to use to start navigating your turn-by-turn directions, where it says how many minutes it takes. And again, that is based on real-time traffic conditions. So if we keep swiping to the right,
Call, button.
there's a button to give them a call.
More, button.
There's a more button. Let's show you what's in that one.
Delete from library. Add to guides. Add a note. Add photos. Download map. Button. Pin. Button. Report an issue. Claim this place. Dismiss context.
A lot of the same things we saw in the other
Card
menu,
controller.
but not quite. There were some differences, right? Here, you also could report an issue, and here you could do a couple of other things that you couldn't do in the other more menu that we had before. One of them that I wanted to mention to you of interest here.
Card, map, track, clear.
Go back to
done.
this.
14 call. More.
Okay,
Button.
there it is. One of them that I wanted to mention was the share button, because you can share this place with other people. And now notice we can add it to a guide. It's already in a guide, but you can add it to another guide if you want. And you can pin it. And there was something else that I wanted to mention.
Add
What-
photos.
oh, add a note.
Dismiss
Okay,
context
add a
menu.
note and add photos.
Card
So,
control.
you know, you can contribute to this by adding photos of the restaurant or the meals you get at the restaurant, or adding a note about it. That would be a private note, I do believe.
Map tracking. Click up for call button.
Let's see what else is here now.
More. Add your photos button.
There's another way to add photos.
Good to know. Heading.
All right.
Close button.
Let's see.
Good to know. Close button.
Now there's the close button for this place card if we want to get out of it. But let's keep going.
Don Patron Mexican Restaurant. Heading. Hours. Open. 2 ratings. You rated. Distance. 8.2 miles. Add a note. See what you write here. Only you'll see what you write here.
Yep, that's a private note. That's what I thought.
Rate this place. Heading.
Okay.
Overall. Liked. Food and drink. Not rated. Customer service. Not rated. Atmosphere. Add your photos.
Okay.
Button.
Keep going.
In your guides. Heading. Favorite restaurants. 18 places.
So it shows me it's already in a guide. 18 places are in that guide of favorite restaurants.
Accepts contactless payments.
So they tell me that they accept contactless payments, which is true.
Accepts Apple Pay.
That's also true.
Details. Button. Heading.
Now we have
Edit.
details if we keep going to the right.
Hours. 11 a.m. 9 p.m. Open. Collapsed.
And if
Activate to expand.
you expand that, you can see the hours for every day of the week. Right now it's just showing you today's hours.
Phone. +1. 8.
There's their phone number. Okay, so they've got that in here.
Website. Add website. Button.
You can add a website if they have one.
Address.
Well, I mean, let me put it this way. The website would automatically be there if they had one, but if you know of one and it hasn't gotten added to maps yet, you can actually go in and add it, and then they'll review that and make sure it's correct, okay?
Address. 1. Report an issue. Pin. Button. Claim this place. My location.
That's it for that. Now let's go to another place that might have...
Map. South Midway. Your building center.
Now see, I'm on the map now, not on the card overlay, but if I go up here towards the
Accepts contact.
left side of the iPad, I'm on the card overlay, and we'll swipe to the left.
Good. Close. Button.
And let's see.
Don Patron. More. Deja Brew. Holiday Bowl. The Melting Pot. Holiday Bowl.
Oh, the Melting Pot's definitely going to have a lot of information because that's a national chain. It's a fondue restaurant. It's really neat if you've never been to one.
The Melting Pot.
Need to plan on about 2 to 3 hours, but it's a lot of fun. It's a really neat dining experience. But what I want to show you is that there can be other things on the place card. The Don Patron is a relatively new restaurant near us, and it does have, all the essentials. But you'll see here at this card.
2 hours, 16 minutes. Driving. Button.
Okay.
The Melting Pot. To call. Button. Website. Button.
See, they have the website button there because there is one.
Reserve. Button.
They have a reserve button. So right from within Apple Maps, you can reserve a table. I don't remember whether this one uses Open Table or Resi or something else, but it will take you to where you need to go.
More. Button.
All right.
In your guides. Close. Close. Button.
Now this one wants to kind of...
The Melting Pot.
There we go.
Heading.
Okay.
Hours. Closed.
Oh, they're closed right now.
Ratings. Rate.
They probably open in the evening.
Cost. $sign.
They show you the cost there with the number of dollar signs.
Distance. 133 miles. Add a note. Only you'll see Open Table. Button. Image. An assortment of food items on a table. Open Table.
What you have here is a collection of photos from this restaurant, and VoiceOver will describe them as we pass by them.
Open Table. Button. Image. A salad on a plate on a stove. Open Table. Foursquare. Button. Image. An assortment of seafood items on a table. Foursquare.
And you can see some of these reviews are from Foursquare, some are from Open Table. And when they said a salad on a stove, well, it's not a stove. They're fondue burners, all right? I'm going to skip some of these photos.
Open tape.
Lots of photos.
Foursquare.
Let's just check another one out for fun.
A group of chocolate-covered strawberries with green leaves on top.
Yep.
Foursquare.
Okay.
Button. Image.
Now?
A white plate with brown text on it next to a plate of food and a glass of beer. Foursquare. Add more.
Okay.
Add photo.
You can add your own. Keep going.
More photos. Ratings and reviews. Open Table. 4.5 stars. 3,207 reviews.
That place has gotten a lot of reviews.
Savannah. 6 days ago. 5.0 stars. Food was great. The Esmores pot was amazing. We'll be returning soon.
So that was a reviewer that wrote about the s'mores pot, and that you can read several reviews if you keep swiping here.
Kristen. 7 days ago. 5.0 stars. Absolutely wonderful experience. Our server, Tab, was so kind and attentive to us and helped with our questions. He even let us switch cooking methods. I love this place and I will continue to come.
Yeah, and apparently you had to double tap that to even read the full thing. They might have just another word or two, part of a word even, but that's the, the idea. We'll keep going past these.
Good takeout.
Okay.
Aaron, good to know.
Good to know. Now here's some stuff that is going to be good to know about this place.
Takeout.
They have takeout.
Delivery. Wheelchair accessible. Good for kids.
Right?
Outdoor parking. Parking lot. Free self-parking. More. Button.
So they tell you all these things that are good to know about the restaurant.
Details. Button.
And then
heading. Hours. 5 p.m. 9 p.m.
Yep, that's why they're not open right now.
Phone.
And again, the phone number.
Website. meltingpot.com/rest-and-va. Address. More on. Open table. Link.
More on open table.
Report an issue.
Okay, so you get the idea here. I'm going to go back.
Hours. 5 p.m. Parking lot.
Go back to the close button.
4 open hours.
Okay,
closed,
past.
Rate cost.
I think I went maybe too far.
The melting pot. Close.
No, nope, there it is. All right, praise the Lord. And
the melting pot.
I'm back in my. I didn't even open a guide because we're in the recent places. If we went back to the left.
More. Del Grasso. More. More.
These are all the recent places.
Guides. 9.
But there's the guides. If we open them.
Card control. Map. Click. Guide. Close. Favorites. 0 places. My places. 4 places.
I think that's where I have home and my mom and dad's and so forth.
Recreation. 4 places. Important locations. 2 places. Rehoboth. 1 place. Pittsburgh trip. 7 places. Favorite restaurants. 18 places. DC trip. 5 places. Air and space. 2 places. Disney trip. 1 place. Toolbar.
Now,
edit button.
You can edit.
Add button.
You can add a new guide.
My location.
Some of these I haven't completed, like Rehoboth. I only have 1 place in there, but then again, that may be the easiest thing because we pretty much just walk once we park at our hotel. Our hotel is 1 block from the beach. The boardwalk is there, so we never really move the car. So I don't know if I'll add other places, but I had thought about it. But when you get to a place, there was that button that you could add it to a guide. So any of these guides that I've created, I have, places I like. So you could create a guide around a city and a state, around an event, around a theme, whatever you want. Now I'll close this.
Pittsburgh. Got clear. Close button.
And then
guides 9 button.
The other thing I will just show you is if we want to do a search, right? So go to the left here.
Clear. Tracking. Library. Closed. Clear.
Oh, I have to close the library. Now.
Location. Add. Button.
Okay.
Mom. Home. Or lock. The melting. Siri. Profile. Search maps. Search field.
All right.
Search field is editing.
So let's just say, hypothetically here, I'm looking for a pizza place near me, which I could say to SIRI, but I could also type here.
Cap P.
Now.
Cap P. I. Z. Z. A.
If I don't put a city and a state, it's automatically going to search near me. So if I want to search specifically for a pizza place in Chicago, I can do that. But if I don't put a city, a town, a state, it's going to do near me. So
search.
We'll hit the search button to the right of the letter L, where the return would be. And again, you gotta, if you're seeing too much map and not enough of the stuff you're searching for, you can expand the card. I think I'll be able to find the card.
Top rated button. All hours.
Yeah,
button.
on the left here, top left.
Close. Tracking. Close.
There's
button.
My close button.
Pizza. Search field.
There's my search.
Filter. Button.
We can filter.
All hours. Top rated. Sort by best match. Button.
Let's keep going.
All prices. Except Apple Pay. Button. Takeout. Button. All amenities. Selected. Original Italian pizza. Pizza restaurant. 1.3 miles. $. Open till 10 p.m. 5.0 stars. Yelp.
That is
favorite restaurants.
Yep,
button.
and that is definitely
Actions of
my favorite pizza place in the area. My son and I just had lunch from there today. And then we go to the right.
Selected. Best Way Pizza. Original Italian. Boxes Pizza. Bright Spot Pizza. Pizza Hut.
So there's others, right? But if we want to open up one of these.
Selected. Best Way Pizza. Selected. Original Italian Pizza of Bedford.
That's a different one. Here's the one.
Card control.
Now let's say we want
tracking,
to
favorite clothes, sort by the Whiskey Bedford Tavern.
get directions
the
there. Now,
Bad Boys
where's
Bistro,
that?
Map.
We got 2 cards here.
Holidaysburg, Lily, Don Patron,
That I think
Oriental,
are
the whiskey, sort by clothes.
Oh no,
favorite restaurant.
I know what happened. I opened the guide instead of opening.
Map.
Where's
selected. Best way pizza selected.
Okay,
Original
there it is.
Italian pizza. Pizza restaurant. 1. Show favorite restaurants.
That's what I did.
Share. Activate. Default.
I should have been able to just activate it.
Card control. Card. Map mode. Track. Favorite. Close.
But
Button.
because it's in that guide, it wants to keep
Sort by. Date
bringing
item.
up the guide.
Favorite.
If you didn't have it in the guide, it's not going to do that. It would just bring up the location. Let
Track
me
it.
try
Favorite.
another
Close.
option
Button.
here for that one since it's in the guide.
Selected. Original Italian pizza. Pizza restaurant. Directions.
Long press.
Button.
Yeah, that'll work. Long press so we can get directions, which is what I wanted to show you.
Call. Button.
We can give them a call.
Open homepage. Button.
Okay, we can open their website.
Share location.
Yeah.
Dismiss contact.
So we're going to say directions.
Button. Call. Directions.
So I want to show you a little of that.
Alert. Getting there safely.
Okay.
Pay attention to your surroundings. Always observe posted signs and local laws.
Okay.
OK. Button.
Now what we have,
Card control. Card. Map mode. Track it. Clear. Directions. Close.
there's the
button.
close button.
Selected. Drive. Button.
You have drive,
Walk.
walk,
Button. Transit.
transit,
Button. Cycle.
cycle.
Button. My location. Button. Reorder.
Now,
My
that button allows you to change the starting location. My location is going to be whatever your current location is, and that is really, truly what we want. We want directions from our current location most of the time. But if you ever want to see, the directions from a different place, you can certainly do that as well by double tapping on that button. So let's go to the right here
Reorder. Button.
and reorder.
Trackable.
If you have more than one location in this list, you can reorder them.
Original Italian pizza. Button.
There's the destination
Reorder.
and
Button.
reorder.
Add stop. Button.
And there's add stop. So that's why you have the reorder option. You can add stops in here. Like, let's say you're traveling somewhere and you know specifically you want to stop along the way at a particular store or restaurant or something like that. You can add a stop, and then you can always even reorder these. Now, going on.
Now. Button.
When are we leaving? We can even change that to see an estimated travel time and so on, but we're going to leave that on now.
Avoid. Button.
And then avoid, and that's if you want to avoid things like tolls, highways, etc.
5 minutes. 2:35 p.m. ETA. 1.5 miles. Fastest. Button.
And if you want...
Activate to show trip details.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. If you want to see the step-by-step directions right now without doing the voice guidance, you double tap on that, where it says the amount of time and...
5 minutes. 2:35 p.m. ETA. 1.5 miles.
Now, if you go to the right,
Go. Button.
there's a go button. And that go button will start navigating. I don't know that that'll work while I'm on a Zoom call, but if it does start navigating, it's really cool to see because you can swipe through the screen and you can actually see the next direction and how many miles or even down to how many feet it is when you keep going. And then you will be able to swipe to the right, and there you can bring up more controls to get the option of adding a stop along the way. Ending the route, of course, end route is always going to be an option that you need to know whenever you get there. And so all of this, there's like a more button. I don't remember if it's called more. Let's try it. I don't think, well, I don't know what it's going to do.
Go.
Let's just see what happens.
Go. Card controller. Full screen map. Map. Close. Button. Directions. My map.
It's not going to speak.
My location. Close. Map.
Yeah,
map.
It's not going to do it because...
Share EDA. Expand.
Or is it?
Button.
Yeah, it's expand. It's not more. It's expand. It's not going to talk because I'm on a Zoom call, but it has the screen here. So
1.5 miles.
I'm swiping left.
4 minutes. Arrival. 2:36. Cable Street. Right turn. Audio. All guidance. Button.
It's telling me
Right turn.
the first thing I need to do.
Overview mode. Compass. Heading.
There's a compass.
Card control. Card.
And look at this down here.
Cable. Arrive. 1.5. Expand. Button.
Expand is where I'm going to get my end option.
Card controller. Full card control. Map. Close. Directions. En route. Voice volume. Report an incident.
I'm swiping left.
Share EDA. Add stop.
Go to the right.
Call original Italian.
Now go to the right.
Voice en route.
We're going to end the route. You didn't...
Close. But map and milk. Map. And milk and
Now.
water. Selected.
Okay.
Close. Button. Close.
And
Look, library, work,
Do I need to close anything else, or are
search
we back?
maps,
I
clear,
think we're back.
40.
Okay, you didn't get to hear it because we're on a Zoom call. It didn't, speak the first direction, but it did show the screen. So you can see how useful this app is, and I would encourage you to play with it. As I said, we're not going to be doing every detail today. We're just looking at these apps a little bit to give you an idea of what they are like. And with that said, we're going to switch gears, and we're going to look at the music app.
Map.
Now,
Map. Doc. Photos. Mail. Music.
there's music.
Double tap to open.
With the music app, this app is going to be best, in my opinion, if you have an Apple Music subscription. But even if you don't, there's a lot you can do with this. You can sync music from your computer to your iPad. You can purchase music from the iTunes store, and you can make playlists. But again, the best experience when you have Apple Music, because you have access to millions and millions of songs anytime you want, and all of the music syncs across all of your devices with iCloud. Now, if you want to have that syncing without the Apple Music portion, they do have an iTunes Match service that you can get for $25 a year. Notice, not a month, but a year. So that's very inexpensive. But this is included in the Apple Music subscription. You'll get that iCloud library. So everything is synced across all of your devices wirelessly, automatically. You don't need a Mac or a PC in the mix. And we're going to go to the music app.
Music. Music. Search.
And we're going to touch the upper left.
Hide sidebar button.
And I'm going to do that.
Show sidebar.
This is...
Toggle sidebar.
Now, you remember I said there are some apps where the sidebar has a lot of options, but some of the same options are in the floating tab bar, even when the sidebar is hidden. So that's the case here, because if I swipe to the right of this hidden sidebar, you're going to see some tabs.
Home tab 1 of 4. New tab. Radio tab. Search tab 4 of 4.
Now, obviously, that's not everything we can do in the music app, but it is some of the core functionality. Let's swipe to the right and see where we are.
Home heading.
Okay, we're in the home tab, and this is going to have...
My account. To follow requests button.
Okay.
Top picks for you heading.
You can navigate by headings usually.
Containers, characters, screen vertical headings.
But I won't guarantee that it's always going to work, because this is one of those apps that I mentioned that because it's so lengthy, you may not be able to use heading navigation if you just keep swiping down, because it's going to try to navigate only what it can see on the screen sometimes. But let's try it here. Let's go to the right.
New release. The 50 best nursery rhymes out. Mood for you. Love. But made for you. Heavy rotation mix. Maverick City music. Featuring Henry Danger. Made for you. Matthew Volbrecht Station. Button. Made for you. Discovery Station. New release. Cosmic Supreme. Featuring Antonio Banderas. Recently played. Button. Heading. Beach/road trips. Button.
That's a playlist.
Brill Building Pop Essentials. Irish Chicken Reels. Chica Bath Time. Henry Danger. The Evita. The Matthew Volbrecht. Disney. But Friends 25th. The Little Mermaid. Little Richard's Greatest Hits. Live. The 50th Anniversary Tour. The Beach Boys. 1960s. The Field. Neil Diamond. Brill Building Puppet, Funny Girl, Original 60s Hits Essentials.
This is all discovery of new music they think you might like, or music you've recently played, all of that kind of stuff in the home tab. And if we want to go to, for example, the radio tab. Now, I'm not going to play anything on this particular call because I don't want to get copyright strikes when we post this, right? But we don't want to break the law. But, I'll just show you how to use the app, kind of. Let's go up to the top and pick radio.
Made for you. Recently featuring new radio tab toggle sidebar.
Now we're in radio.
Search tab.
We'll go to the right.
Radio heading. My account. Live radio. Tap a station to hear non-stop music and more. Heading.
So the first section here is live radio, and these are from Apple.
Apple Music 1 button. Apple Music Hits button. Draggable. Apple Music Country. Apple Musica Uno. Apple Music Club, Apple Music Chill, button. Latest episodes, button. Heading.
Then there's a new heading. So we have, I think, 6 live stations from Apple. Apple Music Hits, Apple Music One, Apple Music Country, a few others. And then the next heading is the latest episodes on some of these radio stations. Let's use our heading navigation and see.
Listen to interviews, button. Heading.
Okay, go again.
Watch interviews, button.
And again.
Heading. Hosted by artists, button.
I think they've
Heading.
improved this because it's continuing to.
Our radio hosts, button.
Again.
All shows, button.
Again.
Local broadcasters, button.
Now,
heading.
This is probably going to be live.
NPR News and Culture, stories that inform, inspire, and entertain, button. 102.7 KIIS-FM Los Angeles, iHeartRadio. Z100, iHeartRadio, button.
Yeah, these are radio stations.
White logo.
These are like national or local radio stations, broadcast radio, but they're internet versions and through iHeart or TuneIn, but they'll play right in the Apple Music app. You don't even have to have that other app for that to work. Let's go down to the next heading.
Explore image. Screen vert headings. International broadcasters. Button.
All right, again.
Head top stations. Button.
And again.
Heading. Stations by genre. Button.
And so now we go to the right.
Indie station. Metal station. Latin pop station. Blues station. Outlaw country station. Viral. Rock station.
And I think if you go down again.
Explore image. Screen vert headings. More to explore. Heading.
We can actually just pick a genre. Let's go to the right.
Alternative and indie. Christian, classical, country, dance, electronic, from around the world, hip/hop and R&B, hits by decade, holiday, jazz, kids and family, Latin, metal, pop, reggae, rock, singer/songwriter, vertical scroll bar. So
all of these are your radio station genres, and if you pick one, for example,
rock, reggae,
let's just say we're going to pick
pop, Latin, kids and
family.
But toggles.
Now,
web page loaded. Toggle sidebar. Home. Tab. New. Radio. Search. Radio. Back button.
There's your back button. Go to the right.
Kids and family. Heading.
And you can see.
Lullaby station. Apple Music Family. Button. Cool Family Station. Apple Music Family. Disney Station. Apple Music. But mini player. Album artwork.
And then
button.
that's it.
Waymaker.
So if I want to play any of these, I just double tap it. Again, we're not going to right now. Let's go back.
Radio, back button.
Upper left, sort of upper left. And the next thing I want to show you, of course, there's a search tab on the top.
Dance, but top home, new, radio, search, tab.
I think it's pretty self-explanatory because you go in there and you type what you're searching for. And you swipe to the right once the edit field is open and you'll see that you can choose to search Apple Music library or your own personal library. And so if you have Apple Music, you can search for something like here. I'll go to search.
Toggle sidebar.
Now,
search, head, my account, artists, songs, lyrics, and more. Search field.
Notice you can search by artist, by song, by lyrics. So if I go into this.
Search field. It's search field.
And let's say that I want to find the name of that song that has the. I always use this example every year, but it works really well. I'm going to search for the song that has the lyric "If Everybody Had an Ocean," which of course we know what that is. But let's search. Now I could also search for a song title.
Loaded. F, space,
I could also search for a song title or an artist or an album or something. But
E V E W B O D W H A D space N space O C E N.
All right, I've hit the search button, and now we'll look on the right side for the search results.
Surfing U, top results, adjustable.
That's an adjustable picker. Watch if I swipe up or down.
Artists, albums, songs.
See,
playlists.
I can search by different things, but go back down.
So artist, top results, adjustable.
Notice,
swipe upward
to its left,
library, button, selected, Apple Music, button.
Remember I told you, you can search either the Apple Music library or what's already in your library. Now go to the right for the results.
Top, surfing U, S, A, song, middle dot, The Beach Boys, lyrics, If Everybody Had an Ocean, button.
And of course that's what we want. We want
to tap to activate the picker.
We want
actions available. The surfing U.
Notice
The Beach Boys artist.
The next result is an artist because we're in top results. So if I want to play that song, I just double tap it. If I want to view the Beach Boys artist page, I double tap on the artist. It'll show me all of their albums and playlists that they're in and all their different songs and so forth, or many of their different songs. And I can also long press. Remember, never forget that long press gesture. We're not going to play this song for you because of copyright, but I'll long press it to show you the menu.
Surfing U, S. A. Song, middle dot, The Beach Boys, lyrics.
Now we got a menu.
View credits, preview, surfing, view credits, button, delete from library, button.
If I didn't already have it in my library, that would say add to library.
Download, button.
You can download it for offline. If it's already downloaded, it'll say remove download.
Add to a playlist, button.
You can add it to many playlists if you want to. You create playlists right on here.
Play next, button. Share song, button. Go to album. Create station. Favored. Suggest less. Dismiss context menu.
We'll dismiss
button.
that. And I think most of those are pretty self-explanatory. So we're going to hit cancel there. Now,
toggle side.
The other thing I'd like to show you then is what is on the sidebar if you want to use it. And there are times you're going to need to use it. That's where all of your library and your playlists live, in that sidebar. So there may be times you need that sidebar. So if I were to, as you know, right now the sidebar is hidden, and then to its right on the with VoiceOver you have this, like, what we call a floating tab bar. It's those 4 tabs that you saw, but not everything about the Apple Music app is available in that tab bar. So if we want to see the rest of the stuff, you have to show this sidebar, and you can hide it again later.
Toggle sidebar.
Let's double tap on that.
Search heading.
Now notice at the upper left,
hide sidebar.
It becomes hide sidebar, and that's because now it's showing. So if you go to the right, now what you have on this sidebar,
edit button.
First of all, you have an edit button because you can change what appears on the sidebar. But let's go to the right.
Home. New. Radio.
Excuse the puppy. Notice so far it's the same as what we had in our tab bar, but in this case, visually, this is going vertically down the left side of the sidebar. If I move my finger vertically, I can kind of drag along the screen here, and you'll see what I mean. So if I touch this part right here, you're going to see as I'm moving my finger down. You don't know that, but I'm telling you that.
Hide sidebar. New. Radio. Selected. Search.
See, I'm sliding my finger down. They appear above and below one another on the sidebar. All right, go to the right of search because that's where we were. How you doing?
Library. Heading. Collapsed.
Now notice.
Tap to expand.
Right.
Actions available.
So the good thing about the library is it collapses and expands to get out of the way. So the sidebar can be as big or as small as you want, kind of, right? So if we expand that library, we're going to get a lot of options. Let's do it.
Library. Heading. Expanded.
Swipe to the right.
Recently added. Artists. Albums. Songs. Downloaded. Playlist.
And that's all I have on my library are those 5 things. That edit option lets you add even more, like composers and genres and music videos and stuff. Now I'm going to collapse that not the sidebar, but the library part of the sidebar.
App art. Recently. Library. Library. Heading. Collapsed.
Now you'll notice you won't hear recently added artists, songs. Go to the right.
Playlists. Heading. Expanded.
And that one I have
double tap to collapse.
Currently
Actions
expanded because I like to look at my playlists. Go to the right.
All playlists.
If you want to view only the playlists in a separate kind of window, you can double tap on all playlists.
Favorite songs. Classical music. Classical music 1. Music videos. My top rated. Recently added. Recently played. Top 25 most played. 90s music. Beach/road trip. Super Bowl 59 party playlist. All sessions. Aloha tracks. Apple Watch.
These are all my playlists, and also they are sorted with all of my personal playlists at the top, but some of those had come with the devices years ago, like the recently added, recently played, the top 25. Those were there, but notice the...
All sessions. Beach/road trip. Super Bowl 59 party playlist.
Those are both collaborative playlists, and it always puts the collaborative ones at the top. That beach road trip playlist is one we use a lot in the summer and other times, and all of our family has access to it. So you can create a playlist that everyone in the family can collaborate on. People can add things to the playlist, and then everybody has the music they want on that playlist. And so you can collaborate, and those playlists show up at the top.
All sessions.
And
Super Bowl 59 party playlist.
That one was also a collaborative playlist. And then it goes to your own personal playlist here.
Apple Watch. Apple Watch.
All those different things. Now, if you show all playlists...
Super Bowl beach, not top...
Gonna go back.
All playlists.
What does that do?
Hide sidebar.
Well,
Button. Favorite songs.
Let me show you.
Library. Heading. Playlists. Heading. Expanded. Selected. All playlists. Favorite songs. Classical. Classical. Music video. My top
It's
rated.
just a different interface because it takes up more of the screen.
Music videos.
And you can...
Mini player. Vertical scroll bar. 35 pages. Center stage. Christmas originals.
You can use the vertical scroll bar.
Mini player. Album art. 2015 MTV video. Vertical scroll bar. 100. 2000.
See, and you can move along that way. Now,
hide sidebar. Edit. Home. New. Rate. Lock. Playlist. Selected. All playlists. Favorite songs. Selected. Classical music.
and again, if I go,
Mini player.
I'll try to find
Waymaker.
one other thing for you quickly
Album art 2015
on this playlist.
heading not vertical scroll 197 100 2015 vertical scroll bar.
Okay.
44 pages.
Not seeing.
60% picture music mini player next track pre shuffle.
I'll show you the mini player in a minute.
Waymaker album art
But
2000.
Let's go back up to the top.
2000 mini player 2000 2014 2000 vertic 90 third 20 12 2% Christian faith cheek center state baseball.
Now we're up near the top.
90 top recent my music video classic favorite song search field more button filter button new playlist button.
And there it is. It's up at the top. It wasn't showing until I went to the bottom and then used the scroll bar to go back up to the top for some reason. But now you can see these options at the top. When you've selected all playlists, you get some additional choices that you didn't have before.
Shuffle button.
You have
new playlist button.
New playlist, that very important button that allows you to create a new playlist right on your iPad. You'll name it. You can add a photo to it if you want, and then you can start adding songs. The way I like to add songs is simply to long press on a song and say add to playlist. But you can also add songs during the creation process by searching for them and adding them that way. That's equally accessible. So I've done it both ways.
Filter button.
And you can filter.
More button.
And there's
search
you can search within your playlist.
More.
This more button.
Grid dismiss. Selected. Update last. List. Select.
It shows you
grid list title. Date added. Last played date. Updated date. Selected. Playlist type. Ascending. Button. Dismiss context menu.
And we'll dismiss that. So there's options for how you sort and how you filter. And I'm going to deselect that all playlist button now.
Favorite song. Selected. All playlists. Selected. Select playlists. Heading.
And
expanded.
Actually what I might need to do is I might need to go back.
Search. More. Filter. New play. Shuffle. Play. Button. Playlists. Heading. New playlist. 2015 new vertical playlist.
Well,
heading. Play button.
Maybe how do I get out of that? I'm trying to remember.
Heading.
Do I just do a? I haven't gone in there in a while because I normally just use my playlist right at the top.
Workout
I think
like
if I just select
page 34 until the sun goes, hide side, edit,
something
home,
else,
selected,
it'll change it.
New rate search library.
Yeah,
playlist.
that's what it is.
Heading.
And
expanded.
that's still expanded.
All playlists.
So I can still see them, but it's just I took away that all playlist option. Now it's there and it's not selected anymore. I just picked home to get away from that. Now I'm going to hide the sidebar because
hide sidebar, show sidebar.
We don't need it.
Toggle sidebar button.
Right now. All right, the last part of the music app that I'm going to show you is the mini player. So whenever something is playing, it will have a mini player at the bottom right of the screen that has quick access to controls like play and pause, the common controls, but you can also reveal the full screen player if you need more options. So right now at the bottom right, I have a mini player here.
Mini player, next track, Waymaker, album artwork, button, Waymaker, live.
It shows that I was listening to a song called Waymaker.
Shuffle, on, button.
You have shuffle.
Previous track, play, next track, button, repeat, off, button. Repeat,
so all those really important
button.
options, but I can get the full screen now playing screen here.
Previous shuffle, Waymaker,
by
live.
simply double tapping on the song name.
Waymaker. Dismiss now playing screen, button.
Now everything's changed. The top left has dismiss now playing screen.
Music, multi-tap.
And then
dismiss now playing screen.
To the right.
Button. Album artwork, image, a screenshot of a music album with a photo of a group of people on a road. Leland. Better word.
Go to the right.
Vocal volume, off, button.
Vocal volume. you can turn down the volume of the original vocals on your songs, and you can display time-synced lyrics that actually show the lyric as it's being played. So what you can create here is a true karaoke experience. Have some family and friends over and have a karaoke party. Everybody sings along, and you turn down the volume of the original vocals. I think this is best on the Apple TV, and we've done it on there quite a bit at New Year's Eve and things of that nature. But it is really cool to know you can do that on the iPad as well. So that's the vocal volume where you're going to do that. Now go to the right.
Selected instrumental break button.
All right, the part of the song that would be playing if I hit play right now is an instrumental break, and you can see
You are here button. Moving in our midst button. I worship you button. I worship you.
I'm reading the lyrics, but notice the one that was selected was the instrumental break. As the song progresses, it'll select the one that is actually currently being sung. So we're going to go past all of those words.
I worship you. I worship you are here. Move. I worship. I worship you are. Waymaker. Promise keeper.
Let's go past all the lyrics here. And I could have done that more quickly with another gesture like a four-finger single tap at the bottom. But let's see if we can just get there this way, because I think we're almost there now.
Let's sing this even when not.
Yeah, we're almost there now. Okay.
My God.
Now.
His name is above.
Almost there.
Favored.
Now.
Waymaker. Leland. Button.
There's the artist. If you double tap that, you're going to get additional choices to view artist page or other albums and so on.
Favored. Button.
We can favorite this.
More. Button.
What's in more? Let's look.
View credits. Delete from library. Download. Add to a playlist. Share song. Share lyrics. Go to album. Create station. Favored. Suggest less. Report a concern. Dismiss context menu.
Okay.
Dismiss now playing screen.
Now.
That is written by. Vertical scroll.
Oh, we're almost there. Let's go back to that.
Waymaker, Leland, okay. Favored.
That's where you can scroll that through the lyrics to the vertical scroll bar. Here we were. More. Button. Okay.
Track position. 11 seconds of 8 minutes. 23 seconds.
And that's the scrubber. That's the scrubber.
Swipe up or down with.
That's the scrubber to move between, move within the song, right? If you want to go back a little bit, go forward. Now.
Previous track. Play. Next track. Button. Shuffle. On. Repeat. Off. Volume. 38%. Playback destination. iPad. Button. Selected. Lyrics. Button. Playing next. Shuffle. On. Autoplay. On. Button. Playing next.
So you have all these choices. You can repeat. You can shuffle. You can airplay it with that button that says playback destination. That means you can play it on other speakers wirelessly, Apple TVs or HomePods or other things. And you even saw that you could... what was the other thing? Play next. You could look at what's playing next.
Shuffle. Next track.
Okay.
Volume.
Adjust the volume. So all of that is right here in the full screen now playing window, which we'll dismiss now.
Dismiss now playing screen. Dismiss now playing screen.
And what we have
dismiss now play. Dismiss now.
Take us back. Sidebar. And you could also do the two-finger scrub, by the way. But now it's going to bring us back to the regular music app.
Toggle sidebar.
With the mini player at the bottom.
Mini player button.
Okay. All right. So again, a whirlwind tour here. Just very, very quickly, but we're going to move on. That was the music app. And now in a similar vein, we're going to notice that the TV app is set up in much the same way. The TV app does an excellent job of aggregating TV content from across a number of sources. You can have sources like your favorite streaming services, Disney Plus, Hulu, Netflix, Max, Peacock, Paramount Plus, Amazon Prime. Now I said Netflix. Netflix doesn't actually really show, I don't know why I said that, I wasn't thinking, because Netflix really doesn't show its content in the TV app very well. Netflix has chosen not to share that data with Apple, but the other ones I said, Max, Peacock, Disney Plus, Paramount Plus, Hulu, Amazon Prime Video, and then also various services like, for example, DirecTV has its content showing in the Apple TV app, and Comcast Xfinity Stream has some of its content in the TV app. Other live TV streaming services like Sling and YouTube TV and so on all have their. Well, now does YouTube TV? I don't think it does. Now I take that back. I don't think YouTube TV does either, but Sling does. So you get the idea. These can show their content in the Apple TV app, and in addition to that, you have Apple TV Plus, which is Apple's own streaming service, and it has its content obviously in the Apple TV app. So let's go ahead in there and take a look at what we have. Also, your purchased TV content,
News.
but we'll get to that.
Settings. TV. Hourly forecast. 7 TV.
Now,
Search.
once again, we
Web
have
page loaded.
a sidebar. Let's.
Hide sidebar. Show sidebar.
Okay,
Unmute.
so it's hidden.
Unmute button.
Now, this one
Unmute.
is interesting
Button. Unmute.
because when you
button.
touch
250 TV. Unmute.
that
Button.
unmute button is at the most left,
Search. Tab.
but if we swipe left of it, we can get even further. There's search,
Store. MLS. Tab. 2 of 5. Home. Tab. 1 of 5. Toggle sidebar. TV. Multi.
and there's that toggle sidebar. Now, what you have,
Unmute.
there are 5 tabs here. The home tab,
Home. Tab. Tab. 2 of 5.
that is the Apple TV Plus tab that doesn't say what it is.
MLS. Tab.
MLS
3
Season
of 5.
Pass.
Store. Tab.
Store,
Search.
and
tab.
search. So right now I'm in the home, well, let me make sure I'm in the home tab.
Home. Tab. Home. Tab.
You know, the
1 of
nice thing about search is it searches across all the different sources too. All right, so this is the home tab. If we swipe right,
Search. Unmute. Dimmed. Button.
what this is it's an advertisement for a show. So I'm going to go to headings
Words. Script word headings.
and swipe down.
Continue watching. Button.
All right,
Heading.
this is probably my favorite thing about the TV app on Apple TV and on iPad and iPhone is it keeps track of what you're watching across all these different sources and then makes it available here to you across all of your devices. If there's a new episode of a show that you've been watching, it will let you know when that new episode is ready and it'll put it right at the head of the line. If it's something that already exists, you've been binge watching or whatever, it shows you the next episode or the continuation of wherever you left off. Now let's show you an example of this if we swipe to the right.
Yankees at Tigers. Favorite team. Prime Video. Live. NYY 2. DET 0. Bottom of the 7th.
Gives me game
Actions available.
game scores for a team that we've added to our favorites, and I can immediately jump into the live action if I double tap on that, as long as I have an app or a service that supports it. All right, go to the right.
Cardinals at Pirates. Favorite team. MLB. Live. STL 0. PIT 0. Bottom of the 10th. Button.
There's another game.
Actions available.
And you'll get notifications when these games start too, or when they get exciting. Close games and so on. Go to the right.
Everybody loves Raymond. Continue S2. E3. Button. Actions available.
Now that is a show that I was watching from our purchased content. Everybody Loves Raymond. They also have that on Peacock and Paramount Plus, so you don't have to own it, but it'll take you to whichever you are using to watch it. And go to the right.
The King of Queens. Continue S8. E8. 20-minute left. Peacock. 7% complete. Time remaining. 20 minutes. Button.
Now notice
Actions
we had
available.
paused that one partway through, and so we have the time remaining. It tells us it's going to play in Peacock. Let's go to the right.
The Nanny. Next S1. E14. Peacock. Button.
Also in
Actions available.
Peacock.
Man with a Plan. Next S1. E10. Paramount Plus. Button.
That one's going to play in the Paramount Plus
Actions
app.
From the Earth to the Moon. Continue S1. E1. 1 hour left. Max. 0% complete.
Gonna play in the Max
Time
app.
Beachfront Bargain Hunt. Next S22. E9. Max. Button. Girl Meets Farm. Continue S6. E13. 19-minute left. Max. 5% complete. Time remaining. 19 minutes. Button.
And that's a cooking show.
Reba. Continue S. Grey's Anatomy. Island Life. The Pioneer Woman. Funniest Pets and People. Good Bones. Invincible.
So these are all shows that we were watching. A lot of them are cooking and food shows, home and garden, design shows, and then, of course, the sitcoms and so on. Now, if any of these is of interest and I want to watch it, I just double tap it. And if I want to get more information about it, just like in the music app, I long press it. So if I do a search for a show in the search tab, it'll bring up the list of results. And again, you'll have an option of top results, movies, shows, cast and crew. But if you find a show you want and double tap on it in your search results, it's kind of going to be the same as if I long press a show here. It's going to bring me to the page for that movie or that show. So instead of going through the search, because you already know how to do that, let's just long press on one of these. Let's do
The Pioneer Woman.
the Pioneer Woman. We'll long press it instead of double tapping. If we double tap it, it's already told me it's going to resume in Max. It's going to start playing in Max immediately. But let's long press it.
Preview S28 E6.
Go to the right.
Go to episode button. Go to show button. Share episode. Share show. Remove from watch list. Mark as watched. Dismiss context.
So let's go
menu.
to the show.
Go to show button.
Now this is the show
Dismiss
page.
toggle sidebar button.
Now this is the show page.
Home tab ML store search back button.
There's a back button.
Remove from watch list button. Download button. Share button. The Pioneer Woman. Play episode button. Reality, May 8th, 2021, 20 minutes. Watch with Max button. S28, E6, middle dot. Home sweet home. Mom knows best. Ree Drummond is making her visiting mom's favorite food, starting with chocolate mousse and white clam pizza. Because her mom is interested in eating healthy, Ree also makes her so good for you salad and garlic spinach spaghetti.
Okay, so we can keep swiping to see the seasons and the episodes that are available to watch, because that's this heading. If we keep going,
Starring Ree Drummond, rated G. Home, spring is in the air. Episode 1, Ree Drummond celebrates springtime with seasonal recipes like shrimp with zucchini noodles and an easy lamb stew. She uses a shortcut for cheesy ham and egg hand pies that everyone loves. Home, Sheep Adventures, Episode 13.
I'm just, swiping left and right. But let's go to another heading here.
Actions, screen recognition, content, verb headings.
So we go down.
Related, button.
You can see
heading.
Related shows that we might like.
Cast and crew.
You can see the cast and crew. But the one I want to show you,
How to watch. Dimmed,
how to watch,
button.
because
heading.
you may not know whether or not you have the services necessary to watch this show. So if I swipe to the right, I'm going to see a list of all the different ways I can watch this show.
Max, open in, Max app, seasons 138, button.
So the first all 38, there's probably 39, but 38 of those seasons are available in the Max app. Okay, go to the right.
DirecTV, open in, DirecTV app, seasons 139, button.
And that would be live TV. And so, yes, there is a 39th season. So I can watch that in the DirecTV app with my DirecTV stream service.
Animal Planet, get, Animal Planet app, seasons 139, Science Channel, get, Hulu, open, Apple TV app, by seasons, from $7.99, seasons 112, 14, 15, 17.39. Prime Video, Philo, get, Travel Channel, Food Network, HGTV, Discovery.
Look at all the ways I can watch this show and the different seasons. Each one tells you how many seasons are available in that particular service, and you can even buy seasons of this. And of course, when you buy a season, you own it, and you don't have to store it. It's just in iCloud. It doesn't count against your iCloud space either, but you have an authorization to watch it anytime you want. So you can always buy seasons. You can buy movies and rent movies. But let's go back now.
Notification, news, more,
I'm gonna
dismiss
that. Okay.
News, 1 hour ago, more, activate, default TV, remove from search, store, MLS, search, remove from download, tap, home, toggle sidebar.
All right, now,
Apple TV, unmute, dimmed.
What I want to do is one more thing. I want to show you this sidebar.
Unmute, search, home, toggle sidebar. Unmute, button, hide sidebar, button.
You're going to have a lot of the same things, but again, more things.
Edit, button.
There's an edit button.
Search. Selected, home, Apple TV Plus, MLS, sports, store, channels and apps, heading, expanded.
Now notice
Double tap to collapse.
a section called channels and apps. These are channels from the Apple TV app or other apps that I have installed, that I'm subscribed to, that I can access, or maybe ones that it wants me to try, but we're going to go, it'll always have the ones you already have first in the list. So swipe to the right.
A&E, AMC, Animal Planet, Bravo, CBS, CBS News, Discovery, Disney Plus, E, Film Rise, Hallmark Plus, HGTV, Lifetime, Max, Paramount Plus, PBS Kids Video, Peacock, Prime Video, Tastemade, The CW, TLC, Tubi. Library. Heading.
Look at all those
Expanded.
choices.
Tubi.
All those are channels that I already have. The ones that it wants me to try are actually in the home tab, not in this list. I wasn't thinking about that. But notice the next thing that's expanded.
Library. Heading. Expanded.
And you can collapse these with a double tap. This is our library.
Recent purchases. Movies. TV shows. 4K HDR. Family sharing. Genres. Toolbar. Sign into your app. Unmute.
And we already are signed in. But those are things that we've purchased. Movies, shows, all of that stuff. Those are specifically things that we've purchased. And you can see all the movies that we own or all the shows that we own and start playing them right away. So that's a bit about the TV app. Again, just a very, very brief whirlwind tour here. And the last one we're going to do for today is podcasts, only to show you that it's really the same experience. So when you've mastered one,
Video. Podcasts.
you've kind of mastered them all.
Wednesday, April 9th.
All right.
Status bar item.
We're in the podcast app now.
Podcasts. Account setting. Search. Top chart. Podcasts. Multi-account. Top. Home. Toggle sidebar. Button.
Notice the sidebar is hidden to the right.
Home. Browse. Top charts. Search. Account settings.
You have some of your basic functionality there. We're in the home tab if we go to the right.
Up next. Button. Heading. Faith Quick Concepts with The Vessel with WSJ Tech New TTJ Tech Talk. This Week in Tech Audio. Tech Talk Coast to Coast. Unashamed with the Robertson. Apple News and Conversation. Apple News Today.
All of these are up next. Just like in the TV app, we had Continue Watching. That's kind of like Up Next. In fact, they used to call it Up Next. And then if you go down by heading, just like in the TV app and the music app, you're going to get recommendations, you're going to get suggestions. I didn't really show you that in the TV app. Let's go back there for a minute. In the TV app, in the home tab.
TV, edit,
if we
search, selected, home, unmute, but continue watching.
If we go down below the Continue Watching heading.
Top chart, Apple TV Plus, button.
Now I'm just moving by heading. I'm not swiping to the right to look at any of these, but I'm just going by heading.
Channels and apps, dimmed, button. Now on Apple TV Plus, your friends and neighbors. New show premieres Friday. Get ready for the year's hottest new drama, only on Apple TV Plus. Apple TV Plus trailers, watch list, movies and shows you added, button. Friday Night Baseball on Apple TV Plus. Movies Spotlight, now playing on your channels and apps, button.
So,
heading, for you, explore movies and shows we think you'll love, button.
I will show you that.
Father of the Bride, The Closer, Dallas, The Fighter, The Waltons, New York, Beverly Hills, The Old Way, Bob's Burgers, Birdman, The Kardashians, The Twilight Saga, Breaking Dawn.
This is
Part 2.
Stuff that it thinks I'll like. And if we go down again.
Popular shows on your channels and apps, button. Head, The Floor, All American, A World of Calm, How I Escaped My Cult, The Secret Lives of Mormon Wives, Celebrity IOU, Pop Culture Jeopardy, My Lottery Dream Home, Grosse Pointe Garden Society, Flea Market Flip, Beat Bobby Flay, When Calls the Heart, Couples Therapy, Judy Justice, Teresa Caputo, Raising Spirits.
Whether I would agree with these or not is a different matter, but it has things it thinks that I...
New shows and movies on your channels and apps. Sports, button.
Then there's a sports
heading.
section.
Watch the latest movie trailers. Top chart. Remembering Val Kilmer. True to Tone.
And usually...
Explore a special what we're watching. Trending.
You go far enough.
In the mood for family-friendly sci-fi? If you like, Girl Meets Farm.
Yeah, I was going to say,
heading.
They'll give you if you like. So we watch Girl Meets Farm. That's a cooking show. So I expect to see cooking shows in this row, if you like.
Baked in Vermont. Miguel Lawson's Cook, Eat, Repeat, button. Baking the Holidays. Zoe Bakes. Magnolia Table with Joanna Gaines. Mary Berry's Foolproof Cooking. Nigelissima. Baked in Tradition. The Kitchen, button. Sugar, Selena Plus Chef. Baker's Dozen.
And again, if you want to see any of these, you double tap and it brings up the show page. You can figure out how to watch it or look at the episode list and the description.
If you like, Home Alone, button.
There's another example, the movie Home Alone. So it thinks that I will like
Home Alone 2, Home Alone 4, Home Alone 3, Home Alone, The Holiday Heist, Christmas Thieves, Elf, A Christmas Story, Pups Alone, Arthur Christmas, Dr. Seuss the Grinch, The Santa Claus.
All right, so you get the idea.
Free series premiere.
And so this is the home tab on the TV app, and the podcast app is very similar, and the music app. There's recommendations, there's up
Podcasts.
next. If we go,
Participants.
we're in
Heading.
the podcast app now,
Podcast. Apple News. Up next. Button.
and then
Apple News. Subscriber edition. Heading. You might like. Based on your listening. Button. Popular shows. Button. Apple TV Plus. Subscriber edition. Narrated articles. From your subscriptions. News. From your shows. Button.
see, so all of the home tab in all of these apps tends to be recommendations combined with what you'd like to watch, what you've already watched or listened to, what have you. And then there's a search tab here. You can search for podcasts. You can follow a show. You know, like if I open one of my...
Up next, heading Apple News. Faith Quick Concepts with Pastor Matt.
all right, that's one of the podcasts I do. And if I double tap on it, brings me
Artwork. Playback progress 0%.
to the episode page. But if you go to the right,
April 9th, He is the Healer. Faith Quick Concepts with play button.
you can play it.
Transcript. Automatically transcribed. Hello. And information. Show. Faith Quick Concept. Published. Length. Season.
So
Rating. Mini player.
I want to, and there's a mini player in this one too. What I want to show you though,
Toggle side. Home. Browse. Top. Home. Save episode. Off.
at the very
button.
top, you can save an episode,
Download.
download it,
More. Button.
and more
Artwork.
is where you
More.
would go to the show.
Download episode. Go to show. Button.
There's go to show. So
Dismiss context.
just in
menu.
case anybody hasn't done it,
Toggle.
you know, we put all these episodes on TTJ Tech Talk every week, and that's our tech podcast. So let's pretend we want to find TTJ Tech Talk in here. How would we do that? So we go over to search,
Top search tab. Toggle sidebar.
go to the edit field near the top, middle, kind of a little bit to the off to the right,
Shows, episodes, and more. Search field.
double tap,
Search field.
and let's type what we're looking for.
Cap T J spec T E H spec T A L K.
Press return or search. Upper right,
TTG top results. Adjustable.
go to the right.
TTG Tech Talk 1D ago. Middle dot. 1 hour 24 minute iPad for all computing 2025 session 15. Photos, camera, and photo booth. Actions available.
Now I think that's just an episode result, not the show itself. Let's look at the actions.
Play. Activate.
Okay, go to the
default.
right.
TTJ Tech Talk show. Middle dot.
Yep.
The Tech Juggernaut. More.
That's the actual
Swipe up or down
yeah,
to-
that's the actual show. So if we double tap on the show, we can pick an episode, we can follow the show,
Artwork. Image. More. Button. Following. Button.
swipe to the left. I'm going left.
Search. Back button.
That's the back button. Now go to the right.
Following. Button.
If you want to follow the show, you just double tap on that. It says following because I'm already following it. If I weren't, it would say follow or follow show. And that's how easy it is. And then if you use your headings,
Words. Vertical headings. Episodes. Filter. Button.
you can find
Heading.
individual episodes. So let's say I'm looking for the episode where we taught Safari. Well, I'll swipe to the right.
See all. Button.
We might have to see all. I don't know how many it's going to show here, but let's go to the right and see.
1D ago. iPad for all computing 2025 session 15. Photos. Camera. And photo booth.
Well, that
Button.
certainly doesn't say Safari.
Play. Remaining time. 1 hour. 20. 60 ago. iPad for all computing session 14. Reminders and grocery list. Play. April 1st. iPad for all computing 2025 session 13. Clock and calendar.
Still
Button.
looking for Safari.
Play. April 1st. iPad for all computing session 12. Safari Experience Lab.
Oh, I know we're getting close because there's the lab from it.
Actions
One more.
available. March 24th. iPad for all computing 2025 session 11. Safari. Button.
And so that's how you find
Actions.
an episode that you want to find in your podcast. All right.
Notification.
Let's-
New. More. Dismiss.
Another notification.
News. One. News. Podcast. More. Button. Following. Search. Back button.
And
TTJ Tech Talk.
We're gonna
show,
return-
App Switcher. Podcast. TV. Music. Maps. Zoom.
to Zoom.
Active.
So what this tells us now
You are share.
is that,
And. But record.
Let me
Button.
just
More.
do one
Button.
thing here.
Host polls. Apps. Disable.
What this tells us is that all of these apps, right? You remember the concept of predictable patterns, which we really focused on in the voiceover class, but we've referred to, I think, a couple of times in here as well. These predictable patterns are so important because when you look at media apps, now, of course, the Maps app was a little bit different, but when you look at the media apps like music, TV, and podcasts, they're all very similar in the way that they're set up. They have a floating tab bar at the top, which has a lot of the core functionality, but not all of it. You have the sidebar, which you can show and hide, and that has other collapsible and expandable sections within it. And you have headings, which you can easily use to quickly find what it is that you're looking for. You're going to find out next week when we get into the Books app on Monday, praise God, that this app as well is very similar in how it is set up. So in a lot of ways, when you learn one of these, it becomes very easy to use the rest.
Thanks for joining today's session. Didn't get your question answered? Have an additional comment or feedback? Email us info@ttjtech.biz or info@stiritup.com. And remember, stir is spelled with a U. That's STURITUP.com. Or check out our websites for additional resources. That's ttjtech.biz or stiritup.com. And remember, subscribe to the newsletter when you're there. That way, you don't miss out on any upcoming announcements or events. Thanks for joining us. God bless, and see you next time.